The 10 statin side effects your doctor is praying you don't discover. 1 in every 4 Americans over the age of 40 takes a pill just like this every single day. That's more than 40 million people. It's a staggering number built on a simple promise: to protect your heart and save your life. Let's establish a crucial fact right now. Statins are medical powerhouses. They are a cornerstone of modern cardiovascular medicine, prescribed to lower cholesterol, and are widely credited with preventing countless heart attacks and strokes. Their success in achieving their primary goal is backed by decades of data. But here's the question that quietly gets pushed aside. What are the biological trade-offs? When a drug is powerful enough to successfully alter a fundamental process in your body to achieve one specific outcome, what are the other effects that might come along for the ride? What does the data show that exists beyond the headline benefits? The conversation almost always stops at lowering one number on a blood test. We're going to ask what happens after that. The information you receive about this medication, or any medication, is heavily filtered. It's not a conspiracy. It's simply how information flows. In science and medicine, the most direct, positive, and easily measured results naturally get the most attention. They become the headline. They become the entire story. This means the conversation you hear is automatically tilted towards the main benefit, simply because it's the loudest and clearest signal in a sea of complex data. In this video, we are going to cut through the noise and look at the research that explores the broader physiological impact of statins, helping you understand the complete risk-reward equation for one of the most prescribed medications on planet Earth. Please note, this video is for informational purposes only and not a substitute for medical advice. All information provided has been carefully verified. Source links are available in the description. Let's get started with side effect 1, muscle pain and myopathy. Imagine waking up with unexplained aches or stiffness. For many statin users, this is a daily reality. Muscle-related issues, medically known as myalgia or muscle pain, are the most commonly reported side effects. This pain isn't just a minor discomfort. It can range from a dull ache to severe weakness, sometimes even progressing to a serious condition called rhabdomyolysis, which we'll discuss later. Studies show that between 1% and 10% of people taking statins experience some form of muscle pain. A huge study, which looked at 19 different trials involving over 123,000 participants, found that statins did cause a small increase in mostly mild muscle pain. People on statins had about a 3% higher chance of experiencing muscle pain or weakness compared to those not taking the drug during the first year of treatment. This meant an extra 11 cases of muscle pain for every 1,000 people taking statins. It's like finding a small but noticeable increase in a large crowd. Scientists believe that statins might interfere with your body's ability to produce coenzyme Q10, a vital substance needed for energy production in your muscle cells. Think of coenzyme Q10 as the fuel spark plug for your muscles. Without enough, your muscle engine struggles. This energy disruption can lead to the muscle problems experienced by some users. Additionally, stronger statin doses, like 40 to 80 milligrams of atorvastatin or 20 to 40 milligrams of rosuvastatin, tend to cause more muscle symptoms. 2. Increased diabetes risk. While statins are praised for their heart benefits, a surprising side effect that's gaining attention is an increased risk of developing type 2 diabetes. This doesn't mean everyone on statins will get diabetes, but research points to a clear connection. One notable study called Jupiter observed that 3% of individuals taking rosuvastatin developed new-onset diabetes, compared to 2.4% in the group receiving a placebo over a period of less than 2 years. To put this into perspective, a large review that combined data from 13 different randomized trials found that statins increased the odds of developing new diabetes by 9%. This means for every 255 people treated with statins for about 4 years, one additional case of diabetes might emerge. While this risk exists, it's important to remember that for many high-risk patients, the benefits of statins in preventing heart attacks and strokes still outweigh this increased diabetes risk. The exact reason why statins might increase diabetes risk isn't fully understood, but scientists suspect it could involve something called insulin resistance. When your cells resist insulin, more sugar stays in your bloodstream, potentially leading to type 2 diabetes. However, large clinical studies haven't definitively proven this mechanism yet. This makes it crucial for doctors and patients to discuss all potential risks and benefits. 3. Liver enzyme elevation. When you start a new medication, your doctor often monitors your liver, and for good reason, especially with statins. Statins can cause your liver enzymes, like alanine aminotransferase, ALT, and aspartate aminotransferase, AST, to go up. These enzymes are usually found inside your liver cells, and when they appear in higher amounts in your blood, it can signal that liver cells are being stressed or damaged. While liver enzyme elevation is well documented, severe liver damage from statins is actually quite rare. A study that followed 204 patients found that statins led to dose-dependent, slight increases in liver function tests over time. These elevations were almost always less than twice the upper normal limit, meaning they were usually mild. The overall occurrence of statin-induced liver injury in the general population is quite low, reported as about 19 cases for every 100,000 people per year. This suggests that while it happens, it's not a common occurrence for most users. The good news is that these enzyme elevations are generally reversible. If you stop taking the statin, your liver enzyme levels usually return to normal. 4. Rhabdomyolysis. While muscle pain is a common statin side effect, its most severe and dangerous form is called rhabdomyolysis. This terrifying condition involves rapid and widespread breakdown of muscle tissue, leading to a massive release of muscle components into your bloodstream. The key indicator is a creatine kinase level that is more than 10 times the upper limit of normal. Though very rare, with an incidence of about 1.5 cases per 100,000 statin users, rhabdomyolysis can be life-threatening because it can severely damage your kidneys. When muscle cells break down, they release harmful substances that can clog up the delicate filtering units in your kidneys, potentially leading to kidney failure. The primary way this happens is thought to involve statins interfering with your body's production of ubiquinone, also known as coenzyme Q10. As we discussed earlier, coenzyme Q10 is essential for cellular energy. When it's depleted, muscle cells can't produce enough energy and may begin to die. Some types of statins are more likely to cause rhabdomyolysis than others. Lipophilic statins like atorvastatin, svastatin, and fluostatin are more prone to crossing cell membranes and might show higher rates of this severe muscle breakdown compared to hydrophilic statins. This difference relates to how easily they dissolve in fats versus water, which affects how they are distributed in the body. 5. Memory and cognitive effects. Could statins affect your thinking and memory? This is a highly debated topic, with research findings that sometimes seem to contradict each other. One older study, which looked back at patient records, suggested a nearly 4-fold increase in acute memory loss within a month of starting a statin. However, this same association was also seen with other cholesterol-lowering drugs, not in the statin family, which makes it harder to definitively link memory loss directly to statins rather than other factors. More recent and robust research offers a clearer picture. A study involving over 300,000 participants from the UK Biobank found that statin use was indeed linked to slightly lower performance in short-term tests of overall thinking ability, reasoning, and how fast your brain processes information. But here's the interesting part. The study found no significant connection between statin use and long-term decline in thinking abilities over an 8-year period. This suggests any effect might be short-lived or subtle. The researchers in that UK Biobank study also tried to figure out why these effects might occur. They found that about half of the observed cognitive effects could be explained by the statin's main job, lowering LDL cholesterol. Another comprehensive analysis involving over 1,000 people aged 70 to 90 found no difference in the rate of cognitive decline between those taking statins and those not over 6 years. 6. Peripheral neuropathy. Imagine a persistent tingling, numbness, or even pain in your hands and feet. This could be a sign of peripheral neuropathy, a condition resulting from damage to the nerves outside of your brain and spinal cord. Some research has pointed to a potential link between statin use and the development of this often uncomfortable condition. A study conducted in Denmark, looking at a large group of people, found that individuals taking statins were 14 times more likely to develop peripheral neuropathy compared to those who weren't on the medication. However, it's crucial to understand that the overall risk remains very rare. In that same study, out of 166 new cases of unexplained neuropathy over 5 years, only 9 individuals had been taking statins. This highlights that while the relative risk is high, the absolute number of people affected is small. The study also revealed that taking statins for longer periods and at higher doses seemed to increase the risk of developing neuropathy. This dose-dependent and duration-dependent relationship often suggests a direct effect of the drug. However, when other systematic reviews, which combine results from multiple studies, have looked into the association between long-term statin use and peripheral neuropathy, they found mixed results. Some studies support the increased risk, while others show no clear connection. 7. Sleep disturbances. Do statins disrupt your peaceful slumber? The relationship between statins and sleep can be a bit confusing, with different types of studies offering varied insights. A systematic review, which is like a super study combining results from many randomized controlled trials, found something quite unexpected. Statins actually appeared to reduce the time people spend awake during the night and also decrease the number of times they woke up. This specific type of research didn't find any negative effects on overall sleep duration, how efficient sleep was, or how long it took to fall asleep. However, observational studies, which look at patterns in real-world patient data rather than controlled experiments, have suggested different findings. An analysis of the FDA Adverse Event Reporting System, a massive database where people report side effects, found significant evidence for sleep disturbances, including insomnia, linked to statin use. This suggests that in the broader population, some individuals are indeed experiencing sleep issues. Interestingly, not all statins seem to have the same effect on sleep. The analysis found that certain statins, specifically simvastatin, rosuvastatin, and lovastatin, were associated with significant sleep disturbances. On the other hand, atorvastatin, fluvastatin, and pitvastatin did not show this same link to sleep problems. 8. Kidney dysfunction. Beyond the well-known muscle and liver concerns, Recent research has shed light on potential kidney-related side effects from statins, particularly one called rosuvastatin. Your kidneys are vital organs that filter waste and excess water from your blood, and any impact on their function is a serious concern. A very large study compared over 152,000 roasting users with nearly 800,000. 8. Kidney dysfunction continued. Avastin users were analyzed to look for differences in kidney health. This study found that rosuvastatin was associated with a 17% higher risk of proteinuria, which means protein in your urine, indicating that your kidneys might not be filtering properly. It also showed an 8% higher risk of hematuria, or blood in your urine, another sign of kidney distress. Most concerning, roasting users had a 15% higher risk of kidney failure, so severe that it required dialysis or even a kidney transplant. This suggests a direct impact on kidney function for some. The study observed that about 2.9% of rosuvastatin patients experienced hematuria, and 1% had proteinuria over an average follow-up period of 3.1 years. These numbers, though seemingly small, represent thousands of people across the population. The researchers also noted that the risk increased with higher doses of the medication. This dose-dependent effect is an important clue that the drug itself is influencing kidney health. 9. Pancreatitis. Acute pancreatitis, a sudden inflammation of the pancreas, is an incredibly painful and serious condition. Your pancreas is a crucial gland that produces enzymes for digestion and hormones like insulin. While many factors can cause pancreatitis, statins have increasingly been identified as a potential trigger, accounting for about 1.4% to 2% of all cases of drug-induced acute pancreatitis. A large study that reviewed records of over 467,000 patients found that those currently on statin therapy had a 33% higher risk of developing acute pancreatitis over a 5-year period compared to people not taking statins. This statistic suggests a significant association, prompting further investigation. However, the connection isn't always straightforward. The relationship between statins and pancreatitis is complex because other large population studies have shown conflicting results. For example, a meta-analysis, which combined data from several randomized trials, actually found that statin therapy was associated with a lower risk of pancreatitis in patients who had normal or only slightly elevated triglyceride levels. This suggests that the context of a patient's overall health and lipid profile might play a crucial role. 10. Tendon problems beyond muscles. Statins might also affect another crucial part of your movement system, your tendons. Tendons are the tough, flexible cords of tissue that connect your muscles to your bones. Recent research has identified a surprising link between statin use and tendinopathy, a condition causing pain, swelling, and impaired function in tendons, particularly those in the finger and shoulder. This can manifest as conditions like trigger finger, where a finger gets stuck in a bent position. A large study based on population data found a higher risk of both trigger finger and shoulder tendinopathy in people who were currently taking statins. Interestingly, this increased risk was not observed in individuals who had taken statins in the past, but had since stopped. This finding is significant because it suggests a direct effect of the ongoing medication, rather than an underlying health condition that might have prompted statin use in the first place. Laboratory studies have provided further support for this link. Researchers exposed human tendon cells, called fibroblasts, to svastatin in a lab dish. They found that the statin had adverse effects on the tendon's extracellular matrix, the scaffold that gives tendons their strength and structure. Specifically, simvastatin increased the release of certain enzymes called collagenases, known as MMP1 and MMP13, which break down collagen. Collagen is the main protein in tendons, so increasing these enzymes can weaken the tendon structure. For most patients who experience tendon problems due to statins, these issues tend to surface relatively early in their treatment. Thank you for watching and supporting our work. If you found this helpful, please give it a like and subscribe for more content like this.